Hi Max, this is Keaton Everett with ABC going over your pitching video from camp. We're going to go through and talk a little bit about, how to ultimately get ourselves consistently repeating our mechanics. We want to make sure we're using our lower half to throw. We want to make sure we're driving our hips down the mound. Our hips are doing all the work, it's generating the power, and we're getting ourselves in a nice healthy position to deliver the ball so we can obviously keep pitching as long as we can. Alright. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to kind of break down a couple key spots in the delivery. We want to look at balance, how you're setting up, how you're starting, because how you start dictates so much about how you're going to finish. And then we're going to watch, what's your lower half doing through the delivery. We're going to pause it and look at what you're doing at foot strike. So once that right foot touches the ground, what's your body looking like? What's it doing? And then from that position through release, we're going to look at it and see how you're doing. So, all in all, it's a pretty solid base you have going on. All right, it's just a matter of just incorporating a little bit more lower half and getting a little bit more explosive with that lower half, as opposed to using that upper half is going to help you out a lot. You're staying in line real well, you're finishing real well. It's just a matter of just kind of cleaning up a few things, and you're going to be good to go. So anyways, we'll start with your setup here. Okay, so from the stretch, you got a good setup. All right, feet are nice and about shoulder width apart. We're going to mark what your head's going to do. So we're going to look at when you start, what's your head going to do. And I think the camera kind of moves a little bit, but basically, here we'll mark this one. This one's a little better. So basically, we want to make sure that when you start that leg up, your head doesn't move backwards. So you're doing good. All right. So you're set up over that back foot. All right. That's good. Everything's ready to go. So once you hit that leg height, you're ready to drive forward. All right. So you have a really big leg kick. All right. Really big leg kick with really big hands high and away from the body is going to be really hard to time. Alright, so you got to make sure that you're really practicing, working that delivery, and that those hands are breaking and the body's starting over that rubber before you start going forward. Alright, you're doing a pretty good job there. We usually like to try to clean you up a little bit, moving those hands a little bit closer to your body, because you can still you're still going to be able to get that leg height that you're looking for. With your hands a little bit closer, and that's going to just clean up that timing, make it a little easier for you. Alright, usually, I don't recommend getting that big a leg kick, but it looks like you're maintaining your posture. A lot of times with those big kicks, you're going to see kids kind of bend backwards and lose their posture, so it looks like you're keeping your posture pretty good. Alright, it's just a matter of especially from the stretch. You're starting from the stretch. As you get older and guys are going to get on base, you're not going to be able to get that big a leg kick. So it's something that I think you should kind of start working on, just trying to shorten up a little bit, work on a little bit of a slide step sometimes, but just kind of get the leg to about right here, get those hands down that position, just something to work on, because as those runners start getting their leads and you're going from the stretch, you're not going to be able to do that. So just something to kind of work on. Alright, so once we get forward here, alright, we're going to look for hips to lead down the hill, and we don't want this leg to kind of hinge open. Alright, so as you start forward, you're seeing that hip drive forward. Alright, you're getting good drive, you're keeping those hips closed. Alright, so you're doing really well here. Alright, so that's really good to see. We just want to make sure that those hips are closed as long as we can and driving down the hill as far as we can. Alright, so now we're going to go to foot strike. Okay, so what happens right when this foot hits the ground? Alright, so it looks like it's about right here. Okay, a lot of times with kids, we're going to be seeing this front side pop open, alright, and your front side's leaking a little bit. In this position, we'd like to try to see this matched up a little bit better with that back side. Alright, so you're just leaking a little bit on that right side, and that's going to cause a little bit of energy loss, a little bit more strain back here. But you have a really good position back here with your arm. So that's good. You're getting up on top of the ball. You're staying behind the ball pretty good. So everything's looking good on that left side. Now it's just a matter of just keeping that right arm closed a little bit longer. And what's going to help you with that is if you can, we're going to watch what your glove's doing here. Alright, so your glove's staying really low and then kind of rotates down. Alright, if we can get to this spot and and feel like you're picking this elbow up here and just raise that elbow up a little bit higher, and in turn that's going to bring your glove up a little bit higher. That's going to be able to buy you some time to get that glove out there and then rotate it and stick it out a little bit farther to get that chest down over that front foot a little bit more. So just kind of work on that a little bit. We just need to see more elbow height here. Alright. So through release, alright, we're going to look at torque. So torque is the ability for that backside hip to start rotating before that shoulder. Alright. So you can see that hip's coming through and that shoulder's lagging a little bit behind, so you're doing pretty good. You got a pretty good foundation there for torque. We just want to try to get even more. We want to try to get the hips in this position and that upper body still hasn't even rotated. Alright. And I say this a lot, is that at your age it's a big strength issue, and it's something that physically a whole lot of kids aren't able to do. But if you are aware of it now, you know, as you get older and get stronger, it's going to be easier for you to do it. So just really feel when you're doing drills, when you're doing your throwing, just really feel that left hip go through first, and then that left shoulder following. All right. And then through release, you know, you're not staying through your back leg enough. We're seeing this back foot kind of pop up off the ground. All right. So just try to drive a little bit more through that left leg, and you're going to see it angle a little bit more right here. All right. Instead of kind of curled up in this 90-degree angle. All right. So you're getting out over your front foot pretty good though. All right. You see your head just about over that heel. You know, if you stay through that back leg a little bit longer, you're going to start seeing that head and that body shift a little bit farther out over that front foot, which is what we want. That's going to get more angle. That's going to drive the ball farther downhill. All right. So that's just something to do, to just stay through that back leg a little bit more. All right. Okay, last thing we're going to look at, we're going to go back and look at what the ball's doing coming out of our glove. All right, are we getting in a good position to throw? All right, and you are. Okay, a lot of times we're going to see, you know, a pretty severe angle here, or you're going to see a straight elbow back here. So you're doing a good job at keeping a nice healthy angle with that arm. All right, now all we just got to see is this foot staying on the ground, driving through, using the rest of that left leg, driving through everything and getting yourself farther out front. And you're going to be able to see a lot more velocity and a lot more power coming off the mound than you are now. So it's just a matter of for you is keeping that right side closed longer, using more legs, or you know, just staying through your legs a lot longer through your delivery, and just really getting out front over that front foot. You know, even when you're playing catch, even when you're doing, you know, drills, just really work on getting out over that front foot, staying through those back legs. But I mean, everything else is pretty solid. You know, clean up that leg kick just a little bit, so you're going to be ready for when those runners start leading off. But I mean, other than that, all in all, it's pretty solid. So hopefully you had a great time at camp. We look forward to seeing you with ABC, and hope you're having a great season.